Hey, what's up, y'all? All right, we finally got to episode 5 of Unsaid Moments. This is the one I've been speaking on ever since I started the Unsaid Moments segment. And if you notice, I actually do have another guest here. Would you like to introduce yourself? Yes or no? I can introduce you. This is my mom, y'all. First time on video, might be a little choppy. We're gonna work with it. But again, I kind of wanted to bring her here because I've been speaking on how there's a reason why I actually decided to go through each segment the way I did, speaking on some of the stuff I spoke on, from relationships to black women to everything else. It all kind of gets tied up within this video here. So that's why she's here. She's going to kind of give clarity to me for the first time, to my sister for the first time, and hopefully we can also kind of like share a different story with you guys as well, something that y'all can kind of take with y'all. So we'll kind of just get started. I'll start off again. I kind of told you off camera, but if possible, no names. We're going to try to respect everybody's anonymity, no matter the situation, if possible. If not, I'll try to edit it out later. But more so than that, just try to be truthful on everything that you say, at which you will. If you guys respect me for my honesty, I got it from her, so I don't really think I even had to say that. But we're just getting started with that, and I have a couple of questions for you. So, me and my sister, or your daughter, actually spoke on abuse last time in episode 4, and we kind of just went through what happened that day from what we remember. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm looking at you.
Your eyes are cutting me though.
Oh.
But no, we kind of spoke on that situation and what we remember about it, from us waking up and kind of hearing what was going on. So, a question I always wanted to ask you, which I never did, was what caused that? In other words, like, what was the beginning to the argument? Like, why did that start?
What led up to that? That's what you're saying?
Correct.
What happened with that was it wasn't really nothing. He was just like, I guess, mad. Like I said, it was an argument. Like I said, it was an argument that we had prior to that. Like I said in the beginning. Like I said, prior to that, and really it was basically he lied on me.
Okay.
When he got sick, okay, I didn't know. Like I said, basically that when he was sick, I told him, like I said, that I wanted to go to the hospital with him. Like I said, let me go to the hospital. This before all the stuff came out. Mm-hmm. Let me go to the hospital with him. I'll go get my mother. Like I said, I'll go get my mom and they can watch y'all. He told me no. Like I said, no, that's okay. That's okay. You stay with the kids. That's what he said. So I was like, well, no, I want to go with you. Like I said, let me go to the hospital. I can go get my mom. My mom can watch Trina and Chris. Mm-hmm. So he was like, no, whatever. So basically he lied on me. Found out he lied on me. He told his parents that I didn't want to go to the hospital. I didn't want to go, like I said, to the hospital. So basically had them looking at me in a bad eye, like I said, like I didn't want to support him or whatever like that. So he basically lied. So that's what it was about. Like we just was arguing, okay, whatever case. And that's what the argument led up to. And then like when y'all woke up, like I said, then he put his hands on me, whatever like that. Then when y'all woke up, he was pulling my hair out my head. Like, basically that's what y'all seen. Yeah, him ripping pieces of my hair out my head. So that's basically what y'all came into. That's why we was like fighting, like I said, over the lies that he told, because he made his parents think that I didn't care nothing about him or whatever like that. It was just all about y'all or whatever the case may be. But basically, I did try to go to the hospital, but he used to lie on me all the time, like I said, and they believed it. So okay. That's what led up to that. What okay. Y'all seen?
All right. Now, with me and Trina, I asked Trina if she knew. Mm-hmm. Did he ever abuse you again physically? I do know about like the emotional abuse. Like, was there ever another time where like
Yeah, it wasn't. That was the time. Well, this was the time when I was telling you about the Kingdom Hall. Like I said, kind of got that mixed up. Like I said, when I went with my mom to the Kingdom Hall, when I came back in, he when I came back after I came in from shopping bag, I went to like the store. I was getting. He waited till I brought the bags in. I brought all the bags in by myself. He didn't help me, whatever. Brought the bags in, and he waited till I started cooking breakfast. Whatever case. So. We was talking and stuff like that, and he said, so how was the hall? Like, so he was sitting there, how was the hall? I said, it was good, whatever. So he jumped up, he stood up, like I said, I was frying bacon, I'll never forget. I was frying bacon, and he knocked the pan, knocked the pan off the stove, like I said, while the bacon was frying, knocked it on and was getting ready to hit me. Well, he did take the pan and swing on me, but I blocked my head, like I had my hand like this, like blocked my hand. And he burnt me. So I had a burn right here. So he was hitting me, like trying to hit me in the head with the pan. And then he pushed me in front and he told me to get out. Like I said, and I didn't have no shoes on. I remember I didn't have no shoes on, so he told me to get out. Like to get out, so I was walking towards the door, whatever like that. Then he said, "No, you're not coming. You're not going nowhere." Like, then he slapped me in the face. Like I said, he bust my lip, so my lip was bleeding. Like I said, so then I mean I don't like to really recite these terrible moments, whatever like that, because it bothers me. Right. But after he slapped me, like I said, then he told me like, "You ain't going nowhere." So then he took me in the room and he raped me, which y'all didn't know, but never told y'all that. But that's what happened. Like I said, and that's something I never really told nobody, whatever. Don't like reciting that part, because when a husband rapes a wife, nobody believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't believe that story. Like I said, how can your husband rape you or whatever? Like, but he did. Like I said, and being as though basically what he had, like I said, stuff, and like the doctor told him, like, whatever you have sex with your wife, you're supposed to have a condom on. Like I said, whatever, but he didn't. Like I said, he raped me, and
we'll touch on that part in a second.
Yep. Okay.
How did that affect you going forward, in the sense of after everything was done with, let's just say he was out the picture, did that affect you in any way going forward with like other relationships? Did it make it seem like it was okay in relationships going forward, or was it something to where you kind of, like, in other words, let's say you had a boyfriend after that, did it affect it in any way? The way you thought about men in general, for the fact that he put his hands on you?
Yeah, it did. Like I said, well, first of all, I didn't think nobody would ever want me again. And I had a complex with myself because I didn't feel that, I needed, I guess, like, reassurance that I was attractive, that somebody would want me again, somebody would love me again, whatever, like, and I just felt like I just had to be honest. Like, I just put it this way, I just couldn't believe that people were out. I mean, people could be so cruel. Somebody could be so cruel or so hateful or so vindictive, to a person, like I said, that never did anything to them. But right. Going forward, like I said, I guess it did affect me, because I always, like, had my guard up, but always, like, felt like after the whole ordeal, like I said, basically, I felt less of a woman. Okay. Put it that way, like I said, because after everything that went down and the stuff that I've seen, that I witnessed with him being the way he was, like I said, I just felt like less of a woman. And at one time in my life, I needed, like, reassurance, like, that somebody would want me, that somebody would love me. I felt that I failed myself, not only failed myself, but I failed y'all. As far as looking for, like, a good father figure for you, a good father figure for Trina in my life, I felt like I was a failure. I felt like I failed y'all, and that bothered me, and it still bothers me. Right. And basically, like I said, I only thing it did, in a sense, was after put it this way, when I was going through the whole ordeal, I had to take therapy. So I had to see somebody, which my mother had, like I said, told me, like I said, it's best that you see somebody, whatever, like this. So I was seeing a therapist, which, like I said, as black people, we think there's something wrong with it. Right. Like I said, we think that, oh, I ain't crazy, whatever, like that. No, I'm not crazy. So I tell y'all and anybody else, no, I'm not crazy. I didn't feel that it made me crazy, but if it wasn't for her, like I said, I wouldn't be where I am today. Like I said, because going to therapy helped me. Like I said, it helped me because I was able to talk to her. I was able to express my feelings. There were times when I went in tears, and I just couldn't even, the whole session, I couldn't even get it out. Like I said, I couldn't even get it out. And she was there, right there with me, or whatever like that. Even though I couldn't get my words out, I couldn't express myself. Like I said, the whole session, like I said, she understood. She just handed me a box of tissue, whatever like that. Mm-hmm. Then as I went, and then it got so bad that when I went to therapy, here this guy thought he didn't need therapy, but he would meet me afterwards. He would come after I was over having my therapy sessions or whatever. He would come meet me. Like I said, come so I can go home with him. Whatever like that. So this
and the whole time y'all in there talking about him, basically.
Basically, like I said, but he'll come make it seem like I had the problem. So basically, like, the problem was me, and it bothered me. Like I said, it bothered me because that whole ordeal, like I said, I lived my life in fear because of basically what I found out, what he had. Mm-hmm. Okay, whatever like that. I don't know if you're going to ask that question.
Later on, I am.
Okay.
I'm going to tie into it.
Well, basically, I lived my life in fear, like I said, because I felt that he was trying to take me away from y'all. He was trying to end my life, like I said, and get me away from my children. He was jealous of y'all. Like I said, I felt not so much towards you because he liked you, like I said, liked you, but he hated Trina. Whatever the case may be. But my thing is this, like I said, that's why I used to always tell y'all, like I said, to stick together. Like I said, I always try to instill that in y'all to stick together. I always told y'all, like I told Trina, that I always remember telling y'all, even before this whole ordeal, that if anybody ever did something to y'all, touched y'all improperly, or did something to y'all tell me. If it's me touching y'all improperly, tell grandma or whatever like that. Vice versa, then tell dad or whatever. But I always try to instill that in y'all, like I said. And after all that whole ordeal played out, I kind of was wondering, like I said, like, did he bother you? I knew he wouldn't bother Trina, like I said, because Trina, he ain't like Trina, like I said, stuff. But I always wondered that, like in my heart, like, was he messing with you, or did he try, or like was he trying to do anything to y'all? Yeah, exactly. Like I said, because my thing was, like I said, I was more so worried about y'all, and then there was times, like I said, when the whole ordeal went, I just wanted to die. I wanted to die. I always used to remember walking home just praying, like I said, just praying out loud to Jehovah. I would pray out loud to him, and I just would just like tell him, like, basically, just let me die, just let me die, whatever, because at times it seemed like it was just so unbearable, like the pain was just so unbearable. And I just didn't want, a lot of times I didn't want to go on, like I said, because a lot of times we blame ourselves, like I said, stuff, because of me wanting love, like every other woman. Like I said, you want love, you want to meet that right person, or whatever the case may be. And what made it even hard is because I knew this guy. I thought I knew him. Like I said, he wasn't a stranger to me. Like I said, I knew his family. Like I said, I thought they were cool. I thought, like, he was cool, whatever the case may be. But it just taught me a lesson, a valuable lesson, that sometimes you can think you know people, but you really don't. Like I said, so even ones that you think you know, like I said, it's best to really dig into their history, dig into their past, and see. Like I said, basically, like I said, if they have a history of, I don't care, mental illness, they have a history of physical abuse, or whatever the case may be, violence or whatever, it's best to dig into that before you get into a relationship, because sometimes later on people hide who they are, and later on it resurfaces. But one thing I do know, like I said, it does come out. And at first I didn't know that, because I was blinded by love, wanting to have somebody with y'all, like I said, wanting to have a stepfather for y'all, like I said, wanting to have somebody to be a family with, that, somebody that love y'all. And basically, like I said, look what I felt like, look what I got myself into, and then there was times when I wanted to leave, like I said, leave him or whatever like that, and he would come get me. And I remember one time he told me that if I ever tried to run, that he'll come get me. He'll come get me, he'll kill me. So basically, like I said, when I can understand what people go through, like when they're being in abusive relationships, it's always easy for somebody to say, well, I would leave, or I would do this, I would have did this, I would do that, I would do that, I would do this. We all say that. Like I said, but not until you're in the actual situation.
Can you say what you'll do? There
you go. Because you don't know what you'll do. Like I said, stuff, and as women, a lot of us are scared. Like I said, we're scared. That's the bottom line, because we don't know to the extent if this man gonna carry it out. Like so, I like I said, had y'all to think about. Like I said, I didn't know if he was gonna come. Like I said, because one time I ran over that time when y'all seen him hit me. I remember taking y'all on the bus. Like I said, we went down Philly. We went down Penn's Landing. We went down Philly, and it was raining. We sat down Penn's Landing, and crying and sitting with y'all, whatever the case may be, because y'all had to witness that, whatever. Then I remember coming back or whatever and going to my mother's house, because I had the key, like, to my mother's apartment, sitting there. Then we went to Lisa's house. I remember we was going to Lisa's house.
I remember you telling us not to tell Mom what happened.
Right, exactly. And I told y'all not to tell my mother. And basically we went to Lisa's house or whatever like that. So Lisa, and then he came and got us. He came right over there. Whatever like that. So that's my thing. That's what I was thinking about. Like, so, thinking if this guy is going to be, if he's going to carry this out or whatever like that and take me away from y'all. That's what I used to think about. Like I said, so basically we can't say, like I said, all of us say what we will and what I do. And I learned in my life, like I said, not to say that, because not unless you're in a situation can you understand where a person's coming from. And I do understand, like, people being abused, or women whoever being abused, man can be abused too. True. Like I said, if you're in an abusive relationship, sometimes it all depends on that person. You're scared. Like I said, you're scared, and that fear keeps you there. Like I said, that fear keeps you from reacting in the right way, or keeps you, it just keeps you stagnant. Like I said, and you think that you got to stay there. Like I said, and take it. And sometimes, because you made a mistake, you can think, well, this is what I deserve. And then sometimes that's what I used to think. Well, maybe I deserve this because I picked him. Like I said, nobody told me to pick him, but this was who I chose. Like I said, so I have to stay in it. I have to, take this, whatever, like, 'cause this was my choice. But later on, like I said, by me again getting therapy, and as I was able to talk, like I said, each time, like I said, that I went to therapy, it got easier. It got easier for me to start talking and telling her what I was going through. Then she told me, I never forget. She told me, she said, "Let me tell you something." She said, "Monica, when you're dealing with him, you have to put." She told me to put "he's sick." She said, "Remember, sick across your forehead." She said, "Put he's sick across your forehead," and I mean physically sick, and he's mentally sick. And she said, so to remember that, and I want you to always have an escape plan, because if he comes back in trying to abuse you, whatever like that, she said, I want you have your pocketbook near you. She said, have your keys near you, whatever like that, because say if he's outside, whatever, like he's coming back in, or whatever case may be, you can leave. Like I said, you go out and leave. Like I said, and it came to that point, and I had to, and like I said, and just what she said came true that day, and I had to do that, and that's when your dad had you and Trina, and
he came in.
And he was coming back in though. He was coming back in. He pulled the knife out on him. This time he's trying to stab me in my face.